Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, welcome to a long-awaited video. Welcome to the video where I go over my loadout from top to bottom on one of the hottest days of the year. So don't say I don't sweat it for you. Let's get right into it. Most of the stuff I'm wearing today will actually have detailed breakdown videos coming in the future. So for example, I'll be making a video where I in detail describe the merits of my headgear as well as my plate carrier as well as my uniform. This will be a brief overview style video where I go over what are the names and brands that I'm currently wearing, and that's pretty much it. If you want a deep dive and interested look in why I chose the pieces that I'm wearing and what I've learned from wearing other pieces, you'll have to look for those in-depth videos on my channel. They are coming up in the future. I've mentioned some in the past. It's all gravy, baby. Let's get to the loadout. Starting from the top on my head, I'm wearing an FMA Gear Team Wendy Exfil clone, where I have dressed to impress with my GoPro setup as well as random IR patches. For hearing protection, I'm using the MSA Sword & Supreme Pros with gel cups. And for eye protection, I'm using genuine Boley X1000s. Finally, rounding off with my face protection, which is a FMA balaclava with ventilation. Underneath that, I am rocking an NE Tactical fitted mouth guard. Moving down to my actual uniform, I am using a Ranger Green combat top from Invader Gear and some Claw Gear Raider Mark IV multicam pants. My plate carrier is a Warrior Assault Systems DCS, where I've fitted the cummerbunds to be with quick detach cabling. I have fitted on a Spiritus System microfight rig. In my microfight, I have 4 M4 pouches and 2 pistol pouches where I keep my spare pistol mag as well as a flashlight. I have the Spiritus System half flap, and underneath this half flap, I am rocking my admin gear. Underneath my Spiritus hanger, I have an Emerson Gear dangler, which is pretty much just a Spiritus clone. In this dangler, I keep most of my admin gear, such as strips, pen and paper, dead man markings, and occasional snacks. For my radio setup, I'm rocking a Baofeng UV5R with a extended antenna, rocking over to a external PTT, which then runs a wire mic to my Swordens. So my radio volume is in my ears and I'm speaking through a clicker PTT on my breast. On my sides, I'd like to keep pretty clear. I have a Grim Hook with my 100 miles an hour tape and a small pistol pouch which contains my knife or my multi-tool. On my back, I'm using a Gear hydration carrier. The Gear Mini hydration carrier is a traverse utilitarian platform that sort of sacrifices a lot of carrying space to be as slick as possible. Inside it, I usually rock my 1.5 liter camel pouch or just essential utility gear. If it's meant to rain that day, I will also carry my wet gear inside of this small hydration carrier. On my belt, I'm using a Orion Gunslinger's belt. I am using a small hook to keep my mechanics gloves in place. I prefer mechanic fast fits or mechanic specters. I have my Fast Mag M4 pouch, my Kydex inserted pistol pouch. After my pistol mag, I have a Warrior Assault Systems single grenade pouch where I keep my grenades. Behind that, I have my dump pouch from Tardigrade Systems, a Danish company which produces high quality Kydex gear and nylon gear. Next to that, I have my Ripaway IFAK, where I keep most of my medical supplies for when I'm playing Medic at Milsim. Finally, on my belt, I have my Helicon Tech mini GP pouch. This is a vertical GP pouch where I keep things as fluorescent lights, sometimes my phone, sometimes my water. It all depends on situation setups. This is mostly just a general purpose pouch. Finally, on the right, I have my Safariland holster with a thumb knob that I printed myself, riding on a mid-ride adaptable UBL tearaway click functionality. Some special interest pieces on my loadout, if I may say so myself, is my patchpanel.ca ID patch with my ID, blood type, team name, and nationality. Some of the IR patches I'm wearing are also custom, as well as the custom printed and encased Brain Exploder clone mount that I designed myself for my GoPro camera. And that's pretty much it for the actual loadout itself. I think we should get to what most of you are probably waiting for, and that is the guns. So for my low FPS CQB ready shooter, I have my 7-inch Mark 18 clone DSG. This is rocking a 28 TPA motor setup with a 16:1 DSG sector gear, mostly Model Max internals, as well as a Model Max hop-up, extending out into a 185mm inner barrel. I have great success with this. It shoots just about 1.1 joule, which is 375 FPS to 350 FPS, depending on my BB weight. This is my go-to CQB shooter. For my more long-range field gun, I have my G36C with the Aries CNC aluminum front that allows me to mount all of my Picatinny mounts from my original build over to this. This shoots 1.6 joules, which is just about 400 FPS depending on BB weight. On my weapon, I usually stick to something like an EOTech or a T1 red dot, as those are my preferred optics. Moving on further down the rifle, I use a cloud defensive switch, which leads over to a Surefire paddle, and then that fires into a Surefire X300 Scout. For my foregrips, I like to use RBG clones from Mo or BCM grips. They're short, they don't get in the way. For my sling setup, I'm using a 2-point Proctor sling, which has the reverse singe in. My primary sidearm is my custom-built Glock 18 that has a Guns Modify Salient Arms slide kit, and, just for the extra bit of heresy, an Agency Arms branded lower. Whew. Well, that was a pretty rushed through version of essentially what kit I'm wearing. As the video title is implying, this is a uniform that I'm wearing with my Milsim Team SAU. So a lot of this stuff is dictated through uniform code, but I've tried to put my personal spin on my mission setup so it works for what I need to do and when I need to do it. This is also the kit I usually wear when I'm going outdoor scrimming. So it is a comfortable, lightweight, light fight kit. And that's exactly what it was designed for. I hope that this was the kind of video that you were looking for in terms of getting an understanding of what I'm actually wearing when I go to the field. As I mentioned, a detailed breakdown will be available about this entire uniform. When exactly those videos are coming, your guess is as good as mine, but they are coming. Until then, I hope you had a great time. I hope this is the sort of thing you were looking for, and if you have any questions, feel free to pop them down in the comments. Thank you so much, and peace.